Good morning. Good morning. Getting set up here. Of course, some technical difficulties going on this morning, but that will not stop our process. I'm logging also on to Instagram so that they can join in on the conversation as well. Um, there we go. There we go. There we go. All right, good morning. Welcome to the Morning Cup of Coffee with Mary May, leadership strategist here. And before you make any decision and get started on your day, get started in that commute, make sure you have a cup of coffee or tea. So let me take my tea. So I hope this message finds you well. And that we're going to jump right on into our leadership nugget that we have prepared for today. And in thinking about, we have different scenarios that we come across in our workday, and sometimes the ripples impact us in different ways. So in thinking about preparing and the work that you do, are you like in your best position? Are you getting yourself in the framework where you can level up and get to the next position that you're looking for? Um, a theme that came up in several conversations last week was, are people functioning in alignment? And so today's conversation is talking about just that. Are you in alignment? Are you leading from being aligned with your gifts and your talents? So, like, are you doing what not necessarily is your passion point, although it could be, but are you also in alignment with what it is that your skill set has been downloaded into you so that you could be super, super duper successful and be able to excel in the work that you do? And so being in alignment, is just like the alignment that we get for our vehicles. When we're driving and our cars are not in alignment, if we are continuing to drive that car, then we're going to kind of feel ourselves being pulled over to the side. We're going to feel ourselves like not being on track. We're going to feel the challenges where we're working on certain goals, but we keep getting swayed, like swayed in different directions. And so when you know that you are working in alignment, you understand what your intentions are, you understand what your goals are, but you understand it from a place of competency and knowing what your capacity is. But knowing your capacity in the space where you thrive and where you are waking up every day and is not the conversation contemplating, am I in the right place? Doing am I doing the conversation appropriately? And what is it that is needed? And so when you are in alignment and you think about your car being in alignment, you simply are able to recognize when you're going, to swaying to the side because the wheels aren't right, or going to the other side of the direction because there's something just, you need to get it fixed, and you need some awareness in regards to how it is that you are driving the car. And then I'm transitioning that or using it as a metaphor for also how you are driving your goals and how you are driving your intention and leadership. Now, one of the things is why people shy away from functioning and using what is considered their gifts and their talents is because their gifts and their talents, they feel, are not necessarily where they should be working, or they're feeling as if, because the title of leadership is not identified, that if the title leadership is not identified, then they're like, okay, I'm not a leader? Or does that really apply to me? Or how is it that I can do what it is that I enjoy in the process of also making sure that I'm in sync? And sometimes we have detours. So just like, when the car needs to be aligned, you've traveled in different places and in different miles for your particular vehicle. And in the process, you have either been distracted, or it's something that you need to kind of pull yourself back. So when you think about how you are in your workplace and how it is that you would like to excel and do stuff different, probably be assigned to different projects, are you remaining in alignment with what your purpose is, or have you just gone along with what it is people just offer to you, and you say, okay, well, yeah, I could do that, so let me grab that on, or yes, I'm able to do that, and let me grab that on. And then you become the chief to many things versus really being focused in on what is your purpose and what is the thing that really really drives you, where you are just doing it like unapologetically, and being able to get that next that opportunity in your day-to-day situation where it works well for you. So as a leadership strategist, I work with people to effectively help them identify like what is some of the blind spots and barriers that where they're still feeling on a day-to-day basis that they're getting passed over in the workplace. But in working, we identify certain situations, and alignment is definitely one of them, where you can begin to like analyze and assess and experience where you could be promoted and well paid. So it's like when you identify what is it that is actually challenging you. Sometimes you need like a little push, a little like identification, a breakthrough session or a breakthrough conversation, that somebody really sits with you and stands with you to help you understand what the outside alignment is and what the inside alignment is. And it's like, if you in your daily journey are feeling as if you're, the things that you can contribute well are not being like obtained, or not being engaged with, or not, a part of your conversation, then you can be left feeling as if you're being passed over and not considered or not seen in the capacity and value that you can bring to every conversation or to every project. So when you are functioning this way, you are not giving yourself full authority for the things that you have capacity for. And you are basically existing versus engaging. Like, you're just existing, doing the day-to-day routine, which creates that daily divorce of self, where you're contemplating on a day-to-day basis of, what am I doing, why am I here, what is my purpose? But I got to go ahead and do this anyway, because of this is what is paying the bills, or this is what's providing for me, this is what is providing for my family. And things are not necessarily always like linear and straight focus. Like we talk about, like we want the car to drive straight focus, but it's not always in a straight focus, because life doesn't happen that way. We could be very very clear in setting the goals, but what gets us out of alignment is distractions. What gets us out of alignment is not truly being committed to seeing things all the way through. So when we look at how we define alignment, it says an arrangement of something in a straight line, or incorrect or appropriate relative positions. So it's two things I thought about when preparing, like, thinking about the car being in alignment. But then also, if you have a printer where, you put in new ink, it always prints out that sheet, and it's all these different lines, and it has to go through to say, okay, if the printer ink is installed correctly, or if it's done correctly, did I follow all of the steps? So when you think about following all of the steps and being committed to you, your thing that drives you on a day-to-day basis, if you're not doing that, then you're not working in the space that's going to help you eliminate the feeling where you are experiencing that you feel overlooked and underpaid, or that you feel unseen and unheard, or that you're constantly in the comparison conversation, wondering around what is it about me, and you end up internalizing this question on like every moment of your day. Although you activate and you move forward, you end up internalizing, what is it about the work that I have done that is not positioning me to be able to engage in a different way? And so when you think about, when you understand what your gifts are not something that you put up on the shelf. Your gifts is actually the monetized gifts that have been naturally given to you by the creator, so that you can utilize them, not only to so that you have gratification, but to all those who come in contact with you have the ability to experience your talent, to experience what it is that you do well, and with passion, that you engage power statements. So every time that you are activating from the inside and understanding with clarity how it is that you serve from your professional platform, from your personal platform, from you as a parent, a significant other, a loved one, a cared for person in the workplace. All of that comes from naturally how you show up. And the thing is that sometimes culturally, what we're passionate about, we don't realize is actually a service, or we don't realize it's actually something that is helping someone else elevate. We don't realize that what it is that we do naturally, sometimes when we stay committed to it, or most times if we stay committed to it, then we'll have the ability to be able to just engage and be powerful in how it is that we move people from one space to the other. But we have to understand and know what it is that we're doing. And as we know that, we have to be very honest with what we're not doing, or what we are ignoring, or what we are actually passing over. We're externalizing and projecting how others may be passing us over, and how others make us feel that we're not worthy or not valued in that conversation. But when it comes to real authentic accountability and real intention around you working in the space that serves you better, you have to be very honest with yourself, and honest as you reflect on what you're doing and what you're undoing. So it's like, what you're doing is that you have to, make sure that you're not just doing the stuff to get along, to to make everybody else happy. But what is that honest inventory of how it is that you light up the room, how it is that you create the opportunity to serve other individuals? But are you going to be open to the opportunity to just naturally exist and naturally excel, and having that confrontation? Because confrontation is not always bad. Confrontation can also serve you and be very, very well served and very, very good. But it also pushes you to always shine brighter. And in shining brighter, you should, or you're encouraged to have your powerful statements that keep you in alignment, that keep you focused. Good morning, Terrence. Thank you for joining in this morning. So as you are in that open and honest inventory, you most of the times we're apologetic. And in being apologetic, we generally take pause to make sure that everybody else is comfortable. But sometimes we have to always realize that in order to be like focused and in our intentional space and doing what it is that we are entitled and here to do, we have to make sure that we're in the spaces where other people think as large as we do as well. And so as you do that inventory, you are the problem solver. You are the person that you want to make sure that you are getting and digging into yourself and digging into like what is at the core that motivates you, but then also digging into what is your natural gift that you do unapologetically in a way that you're able to not get passed over, to be considered for whatever opportunity is like before you, and you're able to create the life that you want to lead and experience within your day, like as far as within your professional day, but then also for those things, around you as well. And being that you are doing that, you would begin to position yourself where your alignment is clear. Your alignment is not swaying you into the detours, or when they do, you have the appropriate toolkit to really function and have the ability to say, okay, I'm detoured for a quick second. You might question, was it some competition involved? You may question, why would this person know that I'm working on something and constantly provide, like a ripple in my matrix? Again, if you are leveling up, sometimes you have to let people fall off to the side. And sometimes that's the most difficult thing when you're trying to lead from the front with your unique footprint. You have a voice, you have a natural way in which it is that you're designed to exist in a certain space. And the way that your unique footprint, is designed, you don't have to apologize. You don't have to, apologize for you being you, because you are showing up unapologetically. And if you find that you are in a space where you have to apologize, you're not playing with people who are higher ambition than you, who are at your ambition level and even higher. And when you're not with people at your ambition level, like where you strive to be, where your goals are, and this is consistently through all aspects of your life, you're out of alignment. And you're creating competition within yourself, that makes you feel uncertain, that creates you to have doubt, or where there's a disadvantage on how it is that you show up. You have to make sure that your ambition level is met in the conversations that you're in. If you are the smartest person, then that's a disadvantage. That's a distrust of yourself, and distrust of your ability to really know that you have what it takes. The natural gifts and talents that keep us in alignment is when we have that gut feeling, and like we're second guessing this situation and we're not sure exactly what it is that we're doing. But if you are second guessing and you are constantly looking in the mirror, you have an inventory, like thinking about your thoughts, but you're not being honest. And if you're not being honest, you are creating competition that's unwarranted and unnecessary, but it's also creating that thought process that you engage in throughout the day, but definitely in the morning, where I usually frame that in these conversations as the daily divorce of self. How are you fueling your energy? How are you fueling the opportunities so that you can be successful, and realigning, like knowing, that you're leading from the front with your unique footprint. When you brighten up the room, when you brighten up the project, when you make the job not necessarily easier, but you've navigated processes and systems and so forth that helps everybody to work at ease, that's a gift. That's an opportunity of you using your natural skills, your natural ability, that's going to help you not only excel and do well, but then also how it is that you will be able to navigate moving forward. Good morning. And so, like, not being in competition with other individuals, you are able to be clear on the strategy that you need. The thing is that the things that create blind spots for us are the things that we tend to say, okay, well, this didn't really happen. They didn't really mean it in that particular way. And we begin to make excuses for, people either not understanding us or receiving us in the way that we want to be heard, seen, promoted, well paid, well acknowledged. And it's like, you have to understand your ambition, being with people that have your thought process at your ambition and higher, is what's more effective, what's going to help you. But if you realize that that person is unable to see your greatness and see your light, it's not necessarily a bad thing for that person. However, either you can take the role of using your natural gifts to encourage them and educate them differently, or you can realize that, again, if they're not at your ambition level and higher, then maybe you need to shift the conversation and shift the room, read the room that you're in, and understand that the competition is irrelevant, because everybody has their unique situation, their unique way of how it is that they apply, the pressure. Because once you realize that competition is irrelevant, you apply the pressure, you become consistent, you become unapologetically you, so that your ambition is in alignment with how it is that you choose to elevate and live moving forward. And like when you recognize that and you have the consistent way of which you can implement it, you begin to have much more success in your day-to-day conversations. So, are you ready to stop like playing with people who don't have the same ambition? Are you ready to understand like what your gifts are and how it is? Like, we say these things, we say we know we have natural gifts, but we don't activate them because we're looking for validation from other people to say we have permission. And listen, you have permission as soon as you activate that, because the only thing that's going to activate you being in your purpose across all aspects of your life is you choosing to be consistent to you, no matter how difficult, no matter how uncomfortable, no matter what it is that challenges you on a day-to-day basis. Like, you have to be committed to you and stick in there, because there's so many things that we attempt, we try, we throw it up against the wall, see what sticks. That's not you being unapologetically who you are as a leader. That's not being unapologetically who you are in whatever space in which you work professionally, but it also layers into how it is that you are personally. So like in recognizing like who you are from the inside out, it creates that honest inventory. You need to have the honest inventory to really, really, truly like gut out all of the trash and gut out all of the weeds and gut out all of the things that create that opportunity that you say, oh, well, I can second guess myself today, or I can, not consider this. Maybe I'll do this another time. When you begin to negotiate what you identified as non-negotiables, you're falling out of alignment. You're falling out of your purpose. You're falling away from what is your natural footprint in the situation. And for work, if you had, would like some support, if this sounds like you, like that would be the area in which myself as a leadership strategist, I help you navigate in a free consultation. I mean, you walk away with the blueprint. If you were to, figure out that you wanted to do a consultation with me and recognize, okay, what is it that is my barriers? What is it that is, getting in the way of me being super, super successful, in the absence of seeking validation, in the absence of, looking for approval of how my light shines in the room. Remember, if your light is being dimmed in a room because you're offering successful strategies or things that have worked well for you or being able to influence stuff, those individuals are in competition with you, whether you believe it or not, because you may say, well, they're my supervisor, or they're the director, or they're, you have qualified them in a different category that you feel yourself as being separate. Really, the titles don't even matter. How the job gets done or how the task gets done is through your light shining brightly. And sometimes you have to really like take that step forward to understand, okay, how do I get out of my own way? How do I move out of my own way? That validation is not necessarily the paycheck that I'm looking for, but I would like to be well paid. How do I get past being dismissed and not seen in other situations, and that really putting a pause on how it is that I move forward. That would be, something that, if you should choose, we can have, that dedicated time, that personal walkthrough, to put you in alignment and make sure that you are functioning, utilizing your gifts and your talents. So on the screen, I do have the link at the bottom, is running through the bottom, as well as on the tab that's on the screen, that goes directly to my schedule to say, hey, I like to get a conversation in with you, and see how it is that I could level up, or see how I could identify the barriers and the blind spots. And should, the conversation, depending on how it goes, we could determine if, a good match to work with each other. But most importantly, you will have a toolkit and a blueprint walking out of that conversation that's going to help you navigate being in alignment, being in your purpose, understanding your role as a leader, but definitely being clear on your day-to-day basis on how it is that you show up. So I would love to have that opportunity to work with you and to help you navigate through that entire process. But it's like, it's up to you. Like, level up with playing with people who have the ambition that you have, and even higher, and being able to position yourself for that level of greatness that makes it unapologetically well. So this has been your morning nugget. I thank you for the engagement and for your, sharing your commute or whatever your morning routine is with me, having your cup of coffee or your tea. And next week I will see you, and I will be in a different setting. So we'll see what that looks like. But I look forward to engaging with you at that time. So again, if you want to grab some time, feel free to DM me, or, send me a message. And again, we'll be here next Tuesday with some more leadership nuggets, helping you level up your career and begin to get promoted and not passed over, and well paid. This is Mary May. I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday. Take care.